Lalo de Avila. How are you, brother? I gotta say hello. That's my brother from Corpus Christi, Texas. Pues órale. Good to see you. Anyway, I'm gonna share some things. When I first came to New York, 1980, I had, I had already gone to school. I was playing a lot of jazz, but I was still learning the timbal repertoire. So one of the first things that I had to learn was what they people used to call la rotina. They would call me, "Hey, Victor, can you go do this gig, or can you sub for me?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, sure. Is there any music?" No, 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 la rotina, brother. Okay, I lost it. What happened here? Okay, so the first things that I had to learn was how to go from the paila to the campana, and back and forth. I'm doing like I start the song starts with the singer singing. You're in the paila. Maybe the bridge goes to the bell. Then you got to come down, and then maybe after the song ends, you go into the montuno. You go into the bell. So how do you get from the paila to the campana? So I'm going to show it to you visually first for those of you that are familiar with notation. But later on, I'm just going to take this off and then I'll demonstrate for you. But just so that you see where I'm coming from. Where you see 1A, that's just, I'm going to play these in 8-bar phrases. So I'm going to play like 6 bars of time. Ka, ka, kika, 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 ka. That's 2 bars right there. And then my 7th bar will be what you see there. And then you see a
Uh,
little setup.
hey, teacher. You have to share it again. I think something happened.
Okay. Can you see it now?
Yeah, you're all good.
Okay. So let me see if I can. No, this thing doesn't work. Ah, yes. Okay. I don't know if you see the little red light here. This will be my 7th bar. And then on the 8th bar, I'm going to go kakung and then I'll go to the bell. Then over here, I have the bells, but I'm going to get to that in a minute. First, I'm going to demonstrate just how to get to the bell. I'm going to call that 1A. That's my first example. One of the first ones that I learned, one of the first one that I teach to a beginner, how to go to the bell without doing an abanico yet. Once they understand that and they have the chops actually to play a triplet seven-stroke roll, then we go to a rim shot on the end of 2 on the 8th bar and a roll on B4 in triple form, tika tika ta, right? Or taka taka, brah. So that's like a rudimental uh, 7-stroke roll, going to the downbeat of the next bar. Then 1C, just a little variation. Now we go 1 2 brah, because you don't want to be doing the same thing all the time. So you want to have little different ones, and you can create them actually. 1D, 1 2 ka, brah. Now, let's say the tempo. One thing that I discovered in my last recording is that I was playing an up tempo, and my abanicos on beat 4 sounded real crunchy. It was like a compressed file or something. You know. So what I did, I took my own advice from my book, and I put the rim shot as always on the end of 2. Then I started my 7-stroke roll on the end of 3, and I still have a 7-stroke roll, but it's more open, and it sounds wider. Rap, instead of at those, like let's say 180, 190 at those tempos. Putting the buzz here on 4 sounds too compressed. If you put it on the end of 3, it sounds much wider, más gordo. So that works for me. Now we have our variations to add, and one and tuka, okay, now I'm going to go off the chair. I'm just going to demonstrate those. You won't see it, but I'll explain as we go. Okay, I'm going to go over there. Okay, I'm going to play 6 bars of time, the 7th bar, and the last bar going to the 1, which is the bell already. Okay, 1, 2, uh, 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 uh. Then I go to the bell. Okay, that's 1A. Okay, 1B. Now I'm going to start with the abanico on 4. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, the 1 is already of the next phrase. And 1C, now I have 2N. Little variation. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, that was 1C. Now 1D as in daredevil. I'm going to add a little 1, 2. I like this one because it really locks in the time. I don't have to guess where that N or 2 is. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, now I'm going to open it up. I'm going to put that roll starting on the end of 3 and 16th notes. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, you see how it sounds a little bit more open. Now I'm going to do the variation. 1F. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, as you can see, I'm recycling something that I did in the first section, right? Now I'm going to have the, with the open 7. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, that's the paila going to the bell. Now, the thing is, how do you get back? If you have to go back to the paila. Let me share again. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the top. Now I'm gonna play 8 bars of time in the campana. And if you look at the 7th bar here is, I'm calling it 2A. And I'll tell you why in a few minutes. Here's the 7th bar. Ka, ka, tiki, tika, ki, tiki, kaka. Basic, right? You go back to the paila, which is the beginning. Now we start getting into what we call here in New York ponches, which is really ponches can be 4N on 4, sometimes on the, well, if it's on the end of 2, they call it el bombo. So 2B was ka, ka, tiki, tiki, ki, tiki, tiki. Okay, un ponche ahí. 2C, just a regular boom. Ka, ka, tiki, tika, ki, tiki, ti, ah. Back to paila. Now, this one is one that I played for many years in a group called Grupo Land Vibe. It belongs to my buddy Tito Rivera, and he used to write this actually to the parts. Ka ka tiki tika kitiki ka kitika kiki ka kiki ka kiki. Sometimes I add a little frill at the end, and this one's more like a little, what you hear in some of these modern recordings. Ka ka tiki tika kitiki ka tiki tika rekata kiki. Okay, so those are ways to calm down. Now, what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to demonstrate these. I'm going to come out of the chair, and I'm going to start on the campana. I'll do 8 bars, and whatever, 2A. 1, 2, ready, go. And go down, okay? The next one has a ponche. 1, 2, ready, go. Down to paila. Next one, a ponche on 4. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, my Grupo Land Vibe ponche, 2D. 1, 2, ready, go. the last one. 1, 2, or 2E. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, those are ways to calm down. Now, I'm going to go back to my share so that I can show you what I'm going to do with this thing. This is something that I used to do with drum set back in my younger days, where I used to play, let's say a 6/8, ka ka tika tu ka 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 ka, and then the second bar I would have variations. So then what I would do is I would crisscross. So this would be my combinations. I'm gonna play 1A, 8 bars of 1A with that fill, 8 bars of 2A with that fill, and then I'm gonna go back to 1A, do the same fill, go to 2B, 1A, 2C, 1A, 2D, and so forth. After I finish that, I'll start with 1B, the abanico, 1B, right? 8 bars of that, 2A to 2A, 1B to 2B, 1B to 2C. Now I have I have 7 combinations on my left side, and I believe I have five combinations on my right side. So if my math is correct me if I'm wrong, that would be 35 combinations. Am I correct? I believe so, right? So that's one way not to get stuck playing the same thing. So I'm going to demonstrate some of these. I'll do. I'll see how long it takes. So I'm gonna play a click track so that you can see how it sounds. My my clicks only. You're not gonna hear me for a minute, my voice, but my clicks only last for about 2 minutes. So if they stop, that means I have to start again. Once again, I'm gonna do 8 bars, do the fill for 1A, and go to 2A. That was the 2 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna now do 1B and do all the very 1B. That's the introduction of the seven-stroke row, abanico. going with the variations on the coming down of the bill. Okay, that was my 2 minutes on that. Okay, I'm not gonna do all of them because it will take a long time. But let's go. I'm gonna go to two 1D, which is adding two beats on the left hand before the abanico, and I'll do their variations. 2D, 1D to the variation. Okay, those were some examples. Now I'm going to go to the one with the open seven stroke where it starts on the N at 3. And I'm going to take that faster so you can see how it opens up a little bit. I'm going to try 1E with No, one F with the variation. Okay, so those are 2, 3 rutinas going from paila to bell. Now, that was not too hard. Let's see. Get out of. Let's see. Now I'm gonna go to the next page. Oh, am I still in share, Chris? Here? I'm not sure. Well, I'm gonna do. Okay, this will. Do you want to? There will stop. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the share. Give me a second. Okay, hold on, guys. Sorry about this. I'm still learning this, as you can see. Hmm, Hold on a second. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Now, what about in 3-2? Can you see that? Pascual, wave your hand. Doctor? Okay. It's a little small. I think you'll see it. Okay, now in 3-2. I'm going to basically come with the same type of idea, except, let's see, I only have 2 variations that kind of come down on the bill. So for the paila, I have ka, 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 seventh bar, ka, 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 kitaka, kakung. And then I have ka 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 bra. No rim shot on the other two because technically that's not a clave, even though people do it. So you learn the rules and then you break them. But I'm sticking to the tradition. Uh, so now we have on the 7 bar on 3 or 1C, or 3C, pa, 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 pa. The rim shot is on 3. Again, that's in clave, pa, pa, ta, pa, pa, ti, pa, pa, pra. And then the other one's ka, 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 ta, ka, ka, kiga. Okay? So that's to go to the bell, or some ways you can go to the bell. And then to come down, the 7th bar or 6th bar, katakaka, katakaka, tikitika, kitikika, kitikaka, kako. Simple, right? Katakaka, katakaka. Let's see, let's say the next one. Katakaka, katakaka, tikitika, katakaka, katakaka, kriup. Okay? So now, I'm going to demonstrate the paila ones on the timbal. I'm going to play 8 bars of time. On the 8th bar, I have the fill. Go into the bell. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay? That's 3A. 3B, now we have the 7-stroke roll on beat 4. 8 bars. 1, okay. Now I'm going to put a rim shot right on 3 on the 8th bar. In clave. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay. And the next one doesn't have a roll, it just has a 4 and. Feeds right into the bell. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay. Now to come down, I'm going to play 8 bars of time. On the 8th bar, I'm going to go coming down from the bell. 1, 2, ready, go. Baila. Okay. Again, 7 bars and then fill. 1, 2, ready, go. And there's many ways you can do this, but this is the ways that I'm presenting it to you today. And now I'm going to play this to a click track, and it will take so long because I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 more. That would be eight combinations, I believe. This is in 2, 3, 2 clave, but my click track is in 2, 3 clave. That means after the count off, I'm going to wait 1 bar so that I'll be in clave. 3, 2. Rotina in 3, 2. Okay, so that's it. So that's in 3 2. That's one thing I didn't explain though, because when we go to the bill, it's hard to go uh, 1 2 ta kiti kiki right away, because I mean you can. I see people doing it, but I personally, for my taste, I don't like to do that. So this is what I do. Let me go back, make sure that I'm in the right page here. I'll show you how I've seen many people over the years do it, and it really works. Okay, let's see. Let me see if I can make this bigger. 1 second for a minute. Ah, that's better. Okay. Now, as I said, the bell pattern that most people use nowadays, I'm pointing it, it's right here when I'm pointing with the red. Kotokoko, kokokaka, tiki tika. If you want to use that bell pattern, going from a rim shot on one into that, it can be done. People do it. I usually do what's called a transition. So I have ka kitaka kakung ka tikita kitika ka tikitika kitikika kitika ka. So you see, I made a little transition on where I'm pointing. I can, that's like the hand bell pattern. Ka, kiki, ka, kika, ka. Then I go into the, the, for better, for lack of better terms, the salsa bell. Over here, the one I was using, that I've been using in the last few minutes, is ka. See that third bar? Ke ta ka tiki tika ke tiki ka kitika ka tiki tika. And then I have my variations. Number three, ka. So I have a downbeat on the third bar. Then I have my handbell, and my transition. Number four, tiki tika. And then finally, number five, this one doesn't need any transition because it ends on the fill ends on the end of four, so it feeds into that bell pattern. Ka. Okay, I'm gonna play them for you, and then we'll have a. You have any questions you can ask me, and if I can, I'll answer. Okay, I'm gonna play them for you. I did the last one again because I should have fluffed it the first time around. So that's basically it on transitions going to the bell. I mean, you can your creativity is the limit. Whatever you come up with, as I don't know if some of you noticed, but I actually changed a couple of things. Uh, with rakakung, I didn't write that down, but I do that all the time. So it just came to me and I did that. Also, if you notice, sometimes I don't keep the two and four all the way to the end. Sometimes I let go of the two and four uh, right before that fill so that in my mind is clear and I just I nail it. Also, when I go to the bell, I won't go to the two and four right away. Maybe I'll wait a bar or maybe a couple of beats or even two bars. Whatever's comfortable. It's like breathing. It's not like strict. Also, and that's like a traditional salsa routine. In Latin jazz, I actually don't play that way. I play more like ghost notes, in between the cowbell and the cascara with my left hand. So I don't keep a strict, you know, ka- that's for traditional straight head salsa and so forth. But even the salsa players are not doing that much either nowadays. I would like to open it up for questions. Chris, you can unmute them.
I got a question for you, Victor. Can you hear me?
Yes, doctor.
Yes. Question is, when in the music would you go from the paila to that salsa bell?
When the band leader says so. Oh, I'm just kidding. No. That's a good question. Well, traditionally, I mean, uh, if the singer's singing his pretty lyric, and all that stuff, it's gonna be most of the time it's gonna be in the pilot. Not all the time. Yeah, certain tunes start right away with the bells, but I think it's called El Estribillo. The first section where he sings the songs, but sometimes at the bridge it might go to the bell. That would be in the music, or somebody would tell you, or again the Rotina. When you go to the Muntuno, when you go to the horn solos, the call and response, kikiribu mandinga, kikiribu mandinga. That's a Muntuno right there, right? Call and response. We talked about it then in class yesterday. So that's definitely a bell. Uh, when you go back to the head of the tunes, if the tune started in Paila, more than likely you'll be going to back to the Paila. But again, that depends on the music, how it says, or like I made a joke of it. But if the band leader says stay on the bell, sometimes it feels good to stay on the bell because if you go back to the Paila, if it's an up tempo thing like a pointed thing or hard hitter, you lose the intensity when you go take it to the Paila. So it depends on the musical situation. Good question. Good question. Anybody else? Jose? Oh, you're just scratching your eye.
Havoc, havoc.
Okay, let's see. Pascual, any questions?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So that's basically it, guys. I'm gonna play something for you uh, from my book, the Art of Playing Timbales. It's a chart, and I'm gonna share the screen so you can follow it. And it applies. It only does it like a couple of times, but you see how it applies going to the bell and coming down. And this is from my book, The Art of Playing Timbales. And actually, everything that I did today comes from my book. So you're welcome to go to Amazon.com, Google Victor Rendon, and you'll see the book, and you're welcome to purchase it. And I'm going to share the screen again. And after this, I will say goodbye. Okay. Okay. Do you see it? Do you see it?
No,
Yes. Yeah, we see.
Yeah, yes.
out there.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is a song chart, and I'll put this up here. Let's see. Start it again. Let me explain it first. We have a break. Po pa
One, two.
pa koto toko toko ko kota kakun. Then it goes into pylon 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 on the eighth bar kakung, but it's not going to the bell though. It stays on the paila. Letter B, 1, 2, 3, 4. You see that repeat sign? That means go back to the repeat. You repeat that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, as I'm reading, I also notice that there's a what looks almost like a dollar sign. That's el diseño. So I have to remember that because it's gonna. If you're not aware of that, it's gonna catch up with you in a minute. So the next line is 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat sign. It says second time. So you don't play that. Just play time. Go back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we go kakong. Then we have a break. Kuka, kuka, koto, toko, toko, rim shot. Then we have piano, paila, 15 bars. Then we have, here we go, the transition or the fill. I went zakatuka, krak. Now we're in cowbell, and that's 15 bars. And I did my very first Rotina fill, kakong. Then it says DS al fin. That means go back to the DS. There's the DS. We play that. Repeat again. Then the next time, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it goes back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Break. Kuka, kuka, koto, sokotoko, koko, go. Okay, I have the fin right under the end of 2. So more than likely that means stop there, not play the 4. Which makes sense. Okay. What else did I notice? Okay. Notice that we went back to the paila on the sign. Like I had said before, maybe it could have stayed on the bill, but I chose to keep it there. That's why it doesn't indicate to go stay on the bill. All right, so I'll play for you, and this is the tone chart to the art of playing timbales. 1, 2. Back to the top. 9. And I want to say that those are my friends, Sergio Rivera,
Oh man, he was
the late Sergio Rivera, and Victor Venegas on bass, who originally was from Chicago, Mexicano. Good friends of mine who have since passed away. And anyway, I want to thank them for being still there. I know they're with me. Okay, guys. I will see you next month. Ahí te guacho, muchachos.
Okay.
And as always, it's a pleasure. And I'll see you next time. Okay.
Thank you, Victor.
Thank you, Victor.
Great.
good one.
Bye.